Hello, future scientists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the world of hydrocarbons. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating properties of alkanes for your Advanced Chemistry syllabus. Alkanes, often called the backbone of organic chemistry, exhibit unique physical and chemical behaviors. We'll explore their characteristics from easy basics to advanced competitive insights. Get ready to unlock the secrets of these versatile molecules. Let's start with the fundamentals. What makes alkanes behave the way they do? We'll uncover their basic physical and chemical traits. Alkanes are simple molecules made only of carbon and hydrogen atoms linked by single bonds. Because carbon and hydrogen have very similar electronegativities, these bonds are largely nonpolar. This nonpolar nature means alkanes only have weak van der Waals forces between their molecules. These weak forces explain why smaller alkanes like methane and ethane are gases, while slightly larger ones are liquids, and very large ones are solids. They have low boiling and melting points, which increase as the molecular size grows. Also, being nonpolar, they don't mix with water, but readily dissolve in other nonpolar organic solvents. And they're less dense than water, so they float. When it comes to chemical behavior, alkanes are often called paraffins, meaning little affinity. This inertness comes from their strong, stable C to C and CH sigma bonds, which are tough to break. But they aren't completely unreactive. Their most famous reaction is combustion. They burn in oxygen, releasing a lot of heat, which is why they're excellent fuels. Think about the natural gas you use at home. They also undergo halogenation, where a hydrogen atom is replaced by a halogen like chlorine or bromine, but this needs UV light or high temperatures to kickstart the reaction. Beyond these, alkanes are generally resistant to acids, bases, and most oxidizing or reducing agents. Now, let's test your understanding of these basic properties. Take a moment to answer these three questions. Why are alkanes considered unreactive? How do they behave when mixed with water or other organic liquids? And can you write the balanced equation for propane burning completely? Pause the video if you need more time to think. Ready for the next level? Let's delve deeper into how the structure of alkanes influences their properties and explore their key reactions in more detail. The physical properties of alkanes aren't just about size, their structure plays a huge role. As you add more carbon atoms to an alkane chain, its boiling point increases. This is because larger molecules have more surface area, leading to stronger van der Waals forces between them. But what about branching? Interestingly, branched alkanes have lower boiling points than their straight-chain isomers. Why? Because branching makes the molecule more spherical, reducing the surface area available for intermolecular contact, thus weakening those attractive forces. Melting points also generally increase with size, but sometimes even-numbered alkanes pack better in a crystal lattice, giving them slightly higher melting points than odd-numbered ones. Density, though always less than water, also increases slightly with molecular weight. Combustion is vital for alkanes, driving our world. But there are two main types, complete and incomplete. Complete combustion occurs with plenty of oxygen, yielding carbon dioxide and water, releasing maximum energy. This is what we aim for in engines and furnaces. However, if oxygen is limited, incomplete combustion happens, producing toxic carbon monoxide, solid carbon, soot, and less energy. Both processes are highly exothermic, meaning they release heat. However, the environmental impact is significant, with CO2 contributing to global warming and CO and soot causing air pollution. Understanding these reactions is crucial for energy and environmental science. One of the most important chemical reactions of alkanes is free radical halogenation. This is a substitution reaction where a hydrogen atom is swapped for a halogen atom, like chlorine or bromine. It doesn't happen spontaneously, It needs UV light or high temperatures to get going. The reaction proceeds through a fascinating three-step free radical chain mechanism. First, initiation, where the halogen molecule breaks into highly reactive radicals. Then, propagation, a two-step cycle where these radicals react with the alkane, creating alkyl radicals, which then react with more halogen to form the product and regenerate another halogen radical, keeping the chain going. Finally, termination occurs when two radicals combine, ending the chain reaction. This mechanism is fundamental to understanding many organic reactions. Alright, time to challenge yourself with these medium-level questions. Can you explain the boiling point difference between N-pentane and neopentane? How do complete and incomplete combustion differ in products? Can you outline the 3 steps of free radical halogenation? What conditions are needed for this reaction? And finally, write the balanced equation for N-octane combustion. Take your time to formulate your answers. Now, let's elevate our understanding. We are moving into the hard level, exploring deeper concepts like regioselectivity, conformational analysis, and important industrial processes. When it comes to free radical halogenation, not all hydrogen atoms are created equal. The reaction exhibits regioselectivity, meaning some positions are preferred over others. This preference depends on the stability of the intermediate alkyl radical, which follows the order: tertiary is most stable, then secondary, then primary, and finally methyl. Chlorine is highly reactive, but less selective, attacking all positions to some extent, so you get a mixture of products. Bromine, on the other hand, is less reactive but much more selective, strongly favoring the formation of the most stable radical, usually at the tertiary carbon. This inverse relationship between reactivity and selectivity is beautifully explained by Hammond's postulate, which relates the transition state structure to either reactants or products, depending on the reaction's exothermicity or endothermicity. Bromination's higher activation energy means its transition state resembles the more stable alkyl radical, making it more selective. Beyond simple bond rotations, alkanes exhibit conformational isomerism, where different spatial arrangements can interconvert by rotation around single bonds. Take ethane, for example. We have the stable, staggered conformation and the higher energy, eclipsed conformation due to torsional strain. Newman projections are an excellent way to visualize these. For larger alkanes like butane, the situation gets more complex due to steric strain, repulsion between bulky groups. The anti-periplanar or anti-conformation is the most stable, with methyl groups 180 degrees apart. Other conformations like gauche and eclipsed are less stable due to increased steric and torsional strains. Understanding these energy differences is crucial for predicting molecular shapes and reactivity. Alkanes, despite their general inertness, can undergo useful transformations under specific conditions. Controlled oxidation, for instance, allows us to convert alkanes into oxygen-containing compounds like alcohols or carboxylic acids using specific catalysts and conditions, which is vital for synthesizing more complex molecules. Another crucial industrial process is pyrolysis, also known as cracking. This involves heating higher alkanes to very high temperatures in the absence of air, breaking them down into smaller alkanes and, importantly, alkenes. Cracking is the backbone of the petroleum industry, converting heavy crude oil fractions into more valuable gasoline components and essential feedstocks for plastics like ethene and propene, all through a free radical mechanism. Time to tackle some harder problems. Can you predict the major monobromination product of 2,3-dimethylbutane and explain why? How about drawing and ranking the stability of butane's conformations? Why is chlorination less selective than bromination? What's the industrial importance of cracking? How can methane be oxidized to methanol? And finally, list the termination products of methane chlorination and calculate product percentages for 2-methylpropane photochlorination. Give these questions your best shot. Welcome to the ultimate challenge, the hardest level. Here, we'll push the boundaries of your knowledge, diving into competitive depth, engineering insights, and the intricate connections of alkane chemistry to real-world applications and advanced concepts. Let's explore advanced aspects of free radical halogenation. When a chiral center is formed during halogenation, like in the chlorination of butane, you'll get a racemic mixture of enantiomers. This is because the intermediate alkyl radical is planar, allowing attack from either side with equal probability. Quantitatively, predicting product distribution requires considering both the number of equivalent hydrogens and their specific relative reactivities. Furthermore, the kinetic isotope effect, where C to D bonds react slower than CH bonds, provides crucial evidence that CH bond breaking is indeed the rate-determining step. While solvent effects are less pronounced than in ionic reactions, they can still subtly influence radical stability. A key limitation, especially for synthesis, is polyhalogenation, leading to complex product mixtures, often requiring careful control or alternative synthetic routes. Catalytic reforming is a cornerstone of the petroleum industry. This process transforms low-octane, straight-chain alkanes into high-octane branched alkanes and valuable aromatic hydrocarbons. Octane number, a measure of fuel's resistance to engine knock, is significantly improved by this process. The magic happens over noble metal catalysts, typically platinum on alumina, at high temperatures and moderate pressures. Reforming involves several simultaneous reactions: isomerization to create branched alkanes, cyclization to form cycloalkanes, and then dehydrogenation and aromatization to produce benzene, toluene, and xylenes. These BTX aromatics are not only essential for high-quality gasoline but also serve as fundamental building blocks for countless petrochemicals, from plastics to pharmaceuticals, highlighting the engineering brilliance behind modern fuel and chemical production. A deeper look into alkane reactions reveals crucial thermodynamic and kinetic principles. The enthalpy of combustion, a key thermodynamic value, increases with carbon chain length, making larger alkanes more energy-dense fuels. Interestingly, branched isomers are slightly more thermodynamically stable, having a less negative enthalpy of combustion. Bond dissociation energies, or BDEs, are fundamental, and the energy required to break CH bonds varies significantly: tertiary, secondary, primary, directly explaining the stability order of alkyl radicals and dictating regoselectivity. Activation energy, the energy barrier, controls reaction rates. Lower activation energy means a faster reaction. Reaction coordinate diagrams visually map these energy changes, showing transition states and activation energies, which are critical for understanding reaction pathways. In industrial catalysis, precisely controlling kinetics and thermodynamics allows engineers to design catalysts and optimize conditions to maximize desired product yields and selectivities, a testament to the power of these chemical principles. The impact of alkanes extends far beyond the lab. Environmentally, their combustion is a double-edged sword. It provides energy but releases vast amounts of CO2, a primary greenhouse gas contributing to climate change. Incomplete combustion adds to air pollution with toxic carbon monoxide and particulate soot, while high-temperature combustion in engines generates nitrogen oxides, leading to acid rain and smog. On the biological front, while not typically primary metabolic fuels for most organisms, some specialized bacteria and archaea can biodegrade alkanes, a crucial process in bioremediation of oil spills. Straight-chain alkanes are more readily broken down than branched ones. Alkanes also play roles in nature, forming protective waxy coatings on plants and insects. Crucially, alkanes are the starting point for the entire petrochemical industry, transforming into an incredible array of polymers, solvents, and pharmaceuticals that underpin modern society. Alright, let's test your mastery with the first 5 hardest questions. Think deeply about the stereochemistry during halogenation of a chiral alkane. Can you quantitatively predict product percentages for 2,4-trimethylpentane chlorination? Explain how catalytic reforming improves gasoline and give an example. Compare the energy profiles of chlorination and bromination using Hammond's postulate. And finally, discuss the environmental impacts of alkane combustion and propose mitigation strategies. These questions require comprehensive understanding and analytical skills. Now for the remaining 5 challenges. Why are alkanes not direct synthetic intermediates, and what role do their derivatives play? Detail the major product and full mechanism for propane bromination. How do CH bond dissociation energies explain regoselectivity? Explain engine knock and its relation to octane number and alkane structure. And finally, design an industrial process to convert N-hexane into benzene and toluene, specifying conditions and catalysts. These questions will really push your advanced preparation. Good luck! You've journeyed through the intricate world of alkane properties, from basic physical characteristics to advanced reaction mechanisms and industrial applications. This comprehensive understanding is crucial for excelling in advanced chemistry. For more such in-depth content, practice questions, and personalized learning experiences, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting chemistry lessons. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep aiming for excellence. Thank you for joining me today.